strengthening relationships, developing support, forging alliances. This is the America-Israel Friendship League, making friends for Israel since 1971.
Its central purpose is to expand the relationship between the United States and Israel.
Strengthening the relationships between the United States and Israel. Attorneys general from across the United States, many of whom became U.S. cabinet members, governors, and senators, visit Israel each year.
I think it's important for any elected official or leader in the United States to have the experience of seeing firsthand, talking to the people on the ground about how important the relationship is between Israel and the United States.
It's so important to look behind the headlines, and what happens in this country affects what happens in our country.
I found a deep and sincere desire to live in peace.
The annual New York Stock Exchange Israel Day celebration is the manifestation of the strong relationship between the U.S. and Israel, which is continually fostered and nurtured by the League. This relationship is actively promoted by distinctive people-to-people programs, improving perceptions about Israel.
AIFL does remarkable work in making sure that the context between the people of Israel and the people of America are rich and continuing and personal.
We have missions to open up the wonders of Israel.
Each year, the America-Israel Friendship League sends numerous leadership delegations to Israel of American leaders and opinion makers from various fields, presenting them with Israel's significant achievements in areas such as innovation, technology, economy, science, and culture. Cybertech security journalist visited Israel recently and met with key Israeli players in the field.
There's Silicon Valley and there's Israel.
Israel is pioneering the fight against cybersecurity threats. They're always trying to up the game and take the next step.
Harvard Law School delegation experienced Israel's social diversity and pioneering spirit while having some fun. Members of the World Affairs Councils of America gained great insight into the inner workings of Israeli democracy.
You don't understand the complexity of the issues unless you're here on the ground.
When you're actually here, you get quite a different sense of what the challenges that the nation of Israel and its people are dealing with.
When I think of Israel, I think of live, bright people living life to the fullest and on the edge.
Meetings with Jewish and Arab community leaders helped members of the Presbyterian leadership delegation witness many forms of collaboration.
There is so much mythology and misrepresentation of what is actually happening on the ground here that the only way you can sort this out is being here in person.
Israel is an amazing place to be, and there are so many opportunities for us to be in relationship with Israelis.
For almost 40 years, we have a youth student exchange program.
The truth is that we are the future generation, and in this program we need to create those bonds, because who knows, one of us might be in politics, one of us might be in rocket science. Later on down the road, we need these connections as countries.
Advocating for Israel. The AIFL has established various powerful platforms in numerous fields of interest, such as the geopolitical briefings, the Christian community outreach, and the young professional community, all part of its effort to provide valuable information to its members and supporters. The America-Israel Friendship League is actively engaged in defending Israel in its desire for freedom, democracy, and the right to exist as a democratic Jewish state.
And that is where the role of the America-Israel Friendship League is today more important, more crucial, and more significant than ever.